Yesterday, I was watching Manchester City versus, oh God, who did they play? Fulham. I reckon it was Fulham. And I had this device, um, I had this right in front of the TV, and I'm stretching and I'm stretching and I'm going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And before I know it, we're in extra time of the first half. It was like, I think, plus 5 minutes. And I thought, Jesus, I've been stretching for 45 minutes straight. And what I was doing, man, was properly laying into it, like really aggressively stretching. And walked away, felt amazing. Go to work this morning, felt amazing. In fact, I came in here before my early shift today and I stretched some more. Felt amazing, right? Feeling beautiful. And then after work today, I go to the bar to squat, and I feel like my adductors are not ready to squat. They feel very, not stiff, but long and insecure. Also, hip flexors feel weird. Anyway, got up to 140 for 4. You'll see the video here now. And since then, I've been thinking to myself, man, the bottom of the squat is clearly, it's the make or break of the squat if you're squatting ATG, because we all know that the universal sticking point is kind of halfway up when the knee is 90 degrees, right? That's kind of the most mechanically disadvantageous position for us. And so for people that squat ATG, we kind of go to ourselves, okay, we have to develop speed before we hit that universal sticking point. There's just no way about it. No way to go, you can't be strong in something that is physically, in terms of physics, against you. You can't change gravity, you can't change physics and levers and moment arms and fulcrums and all that. You can't change that. That's what it is. Like that's why it's called a universal sticking point. So then a lot of people go, okay, I need to develop speed before I get there, because I know I'm going to slow down. Regardless of who you are, you're going to slow down. The trouble is when you are squatting ATG and you're also stretching, that spot where you're supposed to be really, really strong, you're supposed to make the squat, you start to feel like you're ready to tax the hell out of that muscle group before you even got there to squat. So this is where, you push really, really hard with the stretching, and this probably might affect you. Now, today I wasn't going to push hard with squats anyway, but it was just like an early key point to it all. Tomorrow, I hope to actually have a proper squatting session. I hope. I'm still nasally and I'm still congested. Do I not? It's always in the back of my mind. I'll see how I wake up tomorrow. If my nose is clear, I'll probably have another heavy squat session and try and push the volume. Because, I don't want it to turn into I'm just stretching, and not doing anything for strengthening. Stretching is all well and good, like you're pushing those fibers apart. You're stretching all of the muscles, the fascia and whatnot. You're stretching all of it. That's kind of what you're doing when you stretch. But strength is about having those fibers come back together and having the fascia, become strong. So it's kind of like a balance. You still want to be long, but you also want to be strong. And so both of those qualities need to be trained, I feel like, simultaneously, because if you do one too much, you're gonna cop it. It's kind of the yin and the yang. I've spoken about this. Last night I pushed hard. Because I knew today wasn't gonna be in a super heavy session. I've got work. I'll come home feeling tired. Lots going on. But tomorrow I've got a day off work, and so on those days when I have a day off work and I feel healthy, I try to really hammer it. And then all the other days I try to kind of just, I say to myself, grease the groove, but it's not really grease the groove. It's just like come in and do one or two things and then leave. tomorrow, like day off, I'm trying to kind of get after it and really kind of put forth the best effort. Because if you think about it, uh, before night shifts, I can't train hard. After night shifts, I can't train hard. So really, I have like 2 days per week, in the schedule right now where I can really get after it and smash it. All the other days, I'm kind of like not in an optimal spot. That's just the nature of the shift work. I mean, I can right now, like I could have really gone hard at it, but I've learned way too many times, man. I've played with fire way too many times. I've pushed really hard when I shouldn't have, and all you really end up is burnt out, and your immunity drops, and you get sick. And if you're working in healthcare, working with people that are always sick. For instance, today I worked, I looked after a lady that had influenza A. It's the flu, whatever. But I'm wearing a mask. She's wearing a mask. I'm kind of being very careful that I doff properly, meaning take the gloves off and the gown and all that stuff properly off. And also I have to rely on my colleagues as well that they don't do something wrong, because if somebody screws up and they don't wash their hands perhaps, or that they don't remove the stuff and put it in the bin properly, they'll carry that germ with them. They'll go over to the same computer, the same keyboard and mouse that I'm using, and they'll jump on there, do their business, and that's how it spreads. So it's kind of like it's a team effort in hospital. You rely on everyone. That's why, like, when you see somebody that's doing something wrong, you approach them and be like, nicely, whatever, and be like, hey, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but this is where you went wrong. Let's fix it up so we both kind of don't get messed up, and the patient and everyone else, and the cancer patient down the hall. So you can't rely on a lot of people, and so technically speaking, if you're looking after somebody that is really unwell, and you're coming to look after them, and they've got a fever, they've got a virus, and they're prime freaking real estate to get sick, and you come in after a 10 by 10 and you're tired and you haven't slept and it's shift work, you're a prime host, the next host for that virus. So these are kind of some of the things that I think about. I know it's kind of like, at least in this space, everyone speaks about training like as in, that's the only thing that we live for. Most people, like I always say, don't or are unable to just think about training and everything. Like, okay, wake up, eat, sleep, train, go to sleep, eat. People don't live like that. That's not a normal life. I have to take lots of things into consideration. And I've done the hard-headed divan before where like, I don't care, I'm going to hit it hard every day. That's cool, man. No worries. You might last 2 or 3 weeks and then you get sick. And then you take a week and a half off and then just repeat the pattern, and it's just not worth it. So I think with age, you kind of learn, all right, let's be smart about this. The stress doesn't just come in the form of a barbell. Stress comes through many different ways. And all of that kind of depletes your reservoir of protection. How does that make sense? Well, all stress is your stress hormones going up in your blood, right? Your body responds to stressful environments, emotional, mental, physical, all that stuff. When you go to the gym, no worries, you're getting some of that physical stress in. When you go to work, you're getting a lot of that mental stress in, perhaps even emotional, depending on the work you do. Like, I do some stuff that perhaps gets me emotionally, tests me, with some of the things that you hear, some of the things that you see, whatever. You guys can imagine what we deal with in hospitals. So all of that has an impact. Obviously, your personality, if you're a deep thinker, which I am, as you guys know, I take things, to that deeper level, and I ponder about things for quite a while. Think about the big questions a lot. And so a lot of that probably has an impact. If you're a sloth and you don't care, and you're one of those guys that just goes around and eats and sleeps, and you have a very high threshold for any giving a fuck, basically, then whatever, you might be better off and you can abuse more of that physical source of stress. But people are wired up differently. People have relationships that are different. If you're a youngster and you're going through a breakup, or whatever age you are, that's a stressful situation. And you just have to consider it. A lot of people I'll go to the gym and just train 24/7. If you are emotionally and mentally stressed, and then you're also physically stressed, and you're losing sleep over this, it's not going to go well for you, man. Regardless of what the alphas on the internet tell you, you can't just, go crazy with stress. So these are some of the things I think about. I mean, that's what stopped me from hitting it hard today. Uh, I'm tired. Simple as that. I feel tired, and I've trained, so it's not a mental fog. It's legit. I'm tired. So I'll have a shower, eat some food, relax, and then tomorrow, I'll wake up. Hopefully, I have a productive day. I've got a bunch of things to do as well. Like I've got some more jerseys that I need to send off. So I'll do that tonight. Busy, man. I'm busy. I'm busy, but I like it. I like being busy. I like being productive. There's lots of different compartments. The physical side, I reckon I'm done. Now I'm just gonna, work on the. I mean, if you're that way inclined, if you understand medicine, I'm gonna go parasympathetic for tonight. If don't want to make this a biology freaking discussion, but the nervous system has a brake and an accelerator. Most of us are accelerating hard throughout the day, and we forget to press the brake sometimes. Pressing the brake is relaxing, leisure, relaxing, eating food, all that stuff, unwinding. That's what I'm going to try to do tonight. And it's a lot better when you're not going hard in the gym and you can just properly relax and have a good night's sleep and whatnot and catch up with some of those points. Especially when you're training is the way it is right now for me, which I'm not sure if I enjoy it because it's really hot and cold. And like I mentioned in the past, I like my training consistent. Every day I do a little bit. But now, like, it's turned into a situation where every single day I'm doing more than just a little bit. And that adds up, that volume adds up. That's kind of how I used to do it. Now I'm kind of like every day is very, very minimal. And then 1 or 2 days a week, I just hit it hard for maximum volume, hitting the weaknesses, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll let that wash away with easier workouts throughout the week. So I'm playing with different ideas, but, see that adductor right now. So that was a different sensation. That was kind of like almost like a ripping sensation. I mean, I haven't torn anything, but I just, after a while of stretching, you kind of feel a different sensation. That was kind of like you've had enough. So, I mean, it makes sense after last night, man. I stretched hard for 45 minutes, man. That's, and watching the boys play, the football, Manchester City, watching Hull and watching these boys, Foden, wow, man, what athletes, man. You get inspired. That's why I love this thing. I plonked this thing in front of the TV when the NBA is not on now, but the World Championships are, and English Premier League, watching that, and it's like, man, you get inspired by some of these guys, because they're putting the work, and it's like sharing an energy with somebody that's already done the work. It's kind of cool. Anyway, guys, appreciate you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. I don't know what that noise was, babe, but we have to look into it. I think it was the plumbing.